This month, we're going to build an electric car. In the process, we'll learn about gears. Engineers use gears for mechanical advantage. In this build, we'll be exchanging speed for torque. We're going to show you a very specific way you can build a car, but there are many ways you can make it work. Feel free to play around to see if you can come up with a better gear ratio / design. First, we're going to build the car body. Let's take 2 of our black plates and 4 of our small dowels. Put the 4 dowels in the 4 corner holes and push the black plates together. You can rub a crayon on the dowel and it will make installation easier, especially when we're pushing the gears onto the dowels. Next, we'll build the drive assembly. Let's start with pushing the small pulley on the motor shaft. Then we can push the motor through the motor mounting plate. Now let's mount the motor to the car. Let's place the motor on the right side and then slide the screw through the 3rd hole from the top. Make sure you have the motor and screw positioned like this. You shouldn't need to tighten this any more than hand tight. Next, we will build our first gear reduction. We will call a gear reduction 2 gears or pulleys connected with a dowel. So on our car, we have 1, 2, 3 gear reductions. Go ahead and slip the large pulley on the next shortest dowel that you have left. Then, with the motor pulley facing you on the right hand side of the car, install the pulley 4 holes over and 3 holes down. Always be sure to put a washer between the black hole plate and the gear or pulley. Then, on the other side of the dowel, install a small gear. Don't forget the washer. Be sure to make it tight enough so it doesn't slide back and forth, but loose enough so it free spins like this. Remember, you can color the dowel with a crayon to make it easier to install. Now we will build our second gear reduction. This will be a big 50-tooth gear to mesh with the small gear on the first gear reduction. So install this 50-tooth gear on our next largest dowel and then find the hole where it has the best engagement. It should be 6 holes over from the first gear reduction. Then install a washer and then a spacer. For our spacer, cut a piece of the slide stop material long enough so that when we install our next gear, it will stick out past the large pulley. Then, slip the spacer and another small gear on the end of the dowel. Now we have 2 gear reductions. Everything should spin freely. Now, for our last reduction, let's install a big gear on our next shortest dowel. Then, add a spacer the same length as the one on reduction 2. We will put this 6 holes over from reduction 2. Then, we will install another washer, spacer, and this time another pulley. Let's choose the smaller of the 2 that we have left. We're getting close. Let's build the wheels. Let's start with the wheel closest to reduction 3. Install the last pulley on the wheel and then slip on a spacer and a washer. Install this in the bottom row, 2nd hole in from the short edge. Slip another washer and a spacer on the other side and get the dowel centered up on the car body. Then, make sure the pulleys are aligned as best as possible. Now, slip one of the next to largest gears on the ends of the axle to act as wheels. Make sure the axle can spin freely. Then, repeat this step for the other wheel, except for this wheel won't need a pulley. put the battery in the battery pack, and then let's stick the battery pack to the top of the car using some sticky foam. Attach the black wire to one of the motor connectors and the red to the other motor connector. Use a rubber band to connect the motor to the gears, and then another rubber band to connect the gears to the axle. That should be it. Switch the car on and watch it go. Play around with it a little bit. What happens if you switch the pulley on the axle with the pulley on reduction 3? Do you think you can come up with a completely different design? If you already have your crank slide pump, see if you can figure out how to combine it with the gears in this kit along with your can crusher so that you can crush cans by flipping a switch. When you get it figured out, ask your parents to show off your build in our Facebook group. Have fun. We can't wait to see what you come up with.